Okay, so now that I've been able to find the rest of them, I'm still thinking that I have them somewhere else, and I thankfully did find my other stingray. It was with my other kind of hiding spot that I have that I had. Where'd they go? Ah, they're behind me. This box. So this and some of the other vehicles were there, so I knew I wasn't going crazy. I just didn't know where I had put them. So that was kind of nice. So, um, I'm not sure if I said this because unfortunately my phone, every once in a while when it gets overheated, it likes to just stop the video in the middle of it and then it's gone. So minutes or a full video will just be gone. But anyway, so thanks for everyone for bearing with me. Um, but anyway, I was noticing, that I did these three packs, Toys R Us exclusives, at the time, and thankfully they did put the numbers down here and the pictures of what the different sets are. So there was two different waves or two different sets of three. And so you have, in set number one, you have the air command. Number two, you have kind of like a sea command. And then number three, you have the Iron Grenadier. And I'm thinking this is the one we didn't do in the last, two videos ago or whatever. And so here you have the G.I. Joe C command, and you get Deep Six, you get Lieutenant Torpedo, and then you get G.I. Joe Cutter. And the kind of downside to this, unless you don't have all the other single carded figures, is that Deep Six here is kind of in basically a repainted army green for the most part, repaint of Ace's flight jacket. But in some ways, I think they're trying to kind of redo what he looked like. I have the 80s figure of this, but it's the one that he's kind of in a deep sea diving suit with the if you've ever seen it, the big iron helmets that have the three ports, eye ports on the sides. But of course, this one just has, and I think even that one only had one, but it's, I think it's kind of a throwback to those older, first sea diving suits that people had in probably the early 1900s, I would think, around there. Um, but anyway, so this, is pretty cool, but the kind of downside is you get this Deep Six, and Hasbro, of course, these are exclusives, and they're reusing parts, and they're trying to get the most bang at it for their buck. So I understand this, but it's still one of those things that us collectors are kind of like, come on, Hasbro, charge us the extra 50 cents, whatever it is, and give us some new heads. And so that's kind of the cool thing about when we get newer releases, in my opinion, because sometimes they need to do those re-releases because they didn't give us what they should have gave us before. And what I'm talking about is here you have Lieutenant Torpedo, and again my camera is not going to show it off, but take my word for it unless you already own this. Deep Six is exactly the same head as Torpedo. I think the only difference is they gave Torpedo black eyes and eyebrows, and then Deep Six gets blue eyes and I think kind of a brownish eyebrows, but that's pretty much just the same head and just repainted. And it's the same thing with Cutter here. Is he was originally Gung Ho, I believe, and then he became, or maybe it was the other way around, but Gung Ho, then Leatherneck, or Gung Ho and then Cutter and then Leatherneck, because I can't remember if these came out at the same time or maybe this came out before this or the other way around. And so Cutter, of course, is just Leatherneck or Gung Ho's mold, but with a mustache kind of painted on, and but instead of having black a mustache and hair, he's kind of got brown hair and a brown mustache. So if you look in the back of the box, you have your set 1 is the Air Command, which I have 2 of those, and I'll get into why I'm re-saying how many I have. And so that would be set number 1. The G.I. Joe Sea Command is set number 2. And then the Iron Grenadier would be set number 3. And then when you have, can I get that far back and still show you guys? When you have those 3 together, you have the 1 set. And I have, even if they're hiding somewhere, I do have 2 of each of those. And then, same thing here, you have the Krinsman Cobra Commander Trio, or the Krinsman Trio, which is Cobra Commander, the Krinsman Guard Trooper, and the Krinsman Guard Officer. So that would be set number 2. Set number 1 we haven't talked about much, but we'll get into that in a second here. And then set number 3 would be the second set of 3. So just like with the first set of 3, I have 2 of each, and then I have 2 of these and 2 of these, even if they're hiding somewhere. But I wanted to give that one kind of shout out to Chris 31, because I do my best to talk about all the ones that all of you that have been very close to me, I feel like, by commenting on my videos. And at first I was so nervous about talking about people that subscribe to me because I didn't want to upset anybody, but I think it's really cool now, because I don't know if you guys are following this, but there's kind of, and maybe in the grander scheme of people that have known each other for quite a while, you guys do this too, but this is one thing I've really started to enjoy, and it mostly, I think, started with Thunderhound, I think, 369. He was, I was noticing when he was commenting on videos and other people were coming on his videos, they were talking about how nice he was, and I think him and me and many of us all agree that, why not just make more of a connection and try and understand each other and kind of make a group of, if we can say it, friends, rather than dogging people or saying you're wrong or that's not right or how do you know this or how do you know that. So that's the only reason why I kind of mention Cobra Chris 31, because I do my best to mention anybody and everybody that has contributed to me in one way or another. So if I don't say your name, is not because I'm thinking any less of you guys or anything. It's just at this particular time, this is the connection that this video or something I might say in a video has to do with a particular person or a particular couple of people or so on. But I'm sure you guys all know that, because you're all great guys. Okay. I will see you all later. Alright, bye.